I'm with Sarah and Jeff Mason just outside of Kalingaree, north of Perth, on a beautiful 600 hectares of regeneratively grazed property. I'm here to find out about the choices that they've made on their journey, what they're doing to look after their land, and the benefits that that's bringing them, the local environment, and the community. Sarah, Jeff, how are you? Thank you very much for having us out here. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Tim.
This farm is looking really healthy and bounteous. When did you guys take this on? When did the family buy it?
My mum bought the property in 2001 because she used to have a farm in England, Cornwall. So when I got married to Jeff, she said, "Oh, now we can buy a farm." Thought she was joking, and she wasn't.
And she had some pretty specific requirements for the farm that she bought. What was she looking for?
She wanted it to be leaseable.
Yep.
Because she wasn't going to be farming it herself. It had to have at least 10% bushland on it. She wanted tall trees, not Quandong Heath. And it had to be 2 hours to a hospital because my brother had epilepsy, and a river running through it. And I said, "Mum, rivers don't happen in WA."
That's a bit of a list, but you had a look around, and this property was the second one you had a look at.
Yeah, and it's very beautiful. Which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
And Jeff grew up in Ben Coven, and he came to look at it, and there was water still coming out of the ground in October, and he was like, "Woof, this is good stuff." God's country, I think was the term.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Came up with my dad to have a look, and we were just like, "Wow, this is amazing."
Now, you grew up in the wheat belt?
Yes.
Of WA, so you're no stranger to farms and farming and cropping, Jeff. And originally this farm was leased and it was cropped, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And there was a tenant who was farming it at the time, and they actually showed Sarah around the farm and were very keen to keep on farming, so that's what we chose to do.
So you had a good relationship from the get-go, and that continued through for many years?
Yes.
And in fact the farm was paying for itself by lease, wasn't it, Sarah?
Yes, it was. We didn't draw any income from it. We lived off Jeff's income and me when I was working. And then it went back in, the money from the lease went back into the property, so fencing, sheds, things like that.
You always had a bit of a regenerative bent. You started planting trees back then as well.
Yes, we did. Barry, who was leasing, said, "Oh, you need to plant some trees in the drainage line." And I was like, "Oh yeah, which ones?" He said, "I'll get Steph to send you a list." And I think he regretted that because I got a bit addicted. We planted 10,000 trees the first year with a contractor. Second year was, I don't know, 15 or something like that. And the next year was 50,000.
Now, 3 years ago, you guys decided to take this on yourselves and change the direction. What was the cause for that, Jeff?
From my own personal reasons, I was seeing a loss of biodiversity in the flora and fauna on the farm. And it was quite noticeable when we had friends come up and visit and say, things like, "You don't seem to have many bats anymore." And observations like that from people who would see the things change over time.
So like little snapshots.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they could see the change environmentally in what was happening with the decrease in biodiversity, basically the insects and bird life decreasing, bats disappearing. So.
And the thing that was the tipping point was seeing an ag plane spraying insecticide over canola and they were switching off when they went over the bushland, but the spray drift.
Well, you can't control that as easily as you might think.
Yeah, so we were like, "No, we need to take control of this."
And this is not flat country either. It's different potentially different. You had massive paddocks and flat areas, but this is not. It's quite undulating terrain, so a lot of drift.
The first thing was you've stopped cropping now and you're going with regenerative grazing. Can you tell me a little bit about your herd?
Yes. So behind us here, we started off with pastoral heifers from the Pilbara.
Yep.
We bought them back.
So you brought on station cattle?
Absolutely. When prices were extremely high, and they were the ones that we could afford at the time, that we could afford to also learn and make a mistake with.
Yep.
And we have made plenty of mistakes. However, the journey has been pretty good so far.
And they've proven themselves to be good doers too down here, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not a silly decision.
I no regrets on it so far.
There was lots of learning, lots of me sitting in the paddock crying because I couldn't work out how to move them and stuff like that. But yeah, we knew that if we brought stuff from up north, they would actually be able to graze this mixed forage. Whereas if we got sort of special black ones from down south, they might come up here and go, "Oh no, there's nothing to eat."
A lot of mentoring and support and courses from other organisations throughout Australia, so low stress stock handling, RCS as well. They've helped us a lot with getting our baseline knowledge to a point where we were confident enough to take on having our own animals.
Now, the handling part was something that you had to get a handle on pretty early on, and you reached out to Bruce Maynard with his stress-free stock handling.
Yes.
And you still use some of those techniques to this day, and you swear by them. Tell me what the most impactful techniques have been.
So we had big issues with getting the livestock through our cattle yards and getting them to the cattle yards, and quite often it would either make or break the day. And using the techniques from stress-free stock handling with Bruce, using an attractant and things for the animals, brilliant. The animals now run into the cattle yards, which is, if you'd told me that before we started doing it, I wouldn't have believed you.
So you've trained them to look for rewards,
yes,
which you occasionally provide and occasionally don't provide.
Yes.
So they're always inquisitive, they're always guessing what's going to happen today.
Yes.
And that's led to them being a lot more tractable in the paddock.
Absolutely.
Sorry, we use Dunder, which is a byproduct from rum distillery, and we put that in the yards in a tub, and we've got, they can smell it from the other side of the farm quite often, and we've got one cow that just leads the way, April. She runs up the hill.
So you've got very keen livestock now. You don't have any trouble in the yards anymore at all. Well.
This is only the second time the little ones have come in the yards. So, good girl. You're doing well. Good girl.
Oh, it's terrible, yeah.
Well done, little girl. Well done. There you go. You've done so well. You've done so well. Off you go then.
This is one of these Bruce Maynard stress-free things.
Yes.
Tell me what Dunder is, tell me what these carob pods are doing, and tell me what this tub is doing for you with moving the cattle.
Okay, firstly, Dunder is a byproduct of making rum, and cows love it.
I thought there was a reason I loved it.
Basically, it's molasses byproduct.
Okay.
It's an attractant, and Bruce, with the stress-free stock handling, talks about attracting the animals, giving them a reward. They see this blue tub as a reward.
Yep.
Sometimes there's something in it to give them a treat, sometimes they're not. But they're always looking for the blue tub, and if they find it and there's a reward in it, they're really happy.
It's kind of like a sales bonus to a car guy.
Yes, it would be a lot like that.
So it's really important not to always reward them, but
Yes.
to always keep them thinking, isn't it?
It is indeed. And so it means that we can sometimes have an empty tub because we may have forgotten the Dunder at the cattle yards and we just want to get them in, and they still go in. But obviously you need to reward them occasionally. So yeah, it works well.
So we're putting out the reward tub. Whereabouts are we going to put it? What's the strategy?
There's some radish over here. I'm going to take it towards the radish.
So you're going to put it where you want the cows to concentrate their eating energy.
That's correct.
And it's going to do two things for you. It's not only going to utilise your paddock, it's going to get rid of some of this radish.
Absolutely. And we'll see a demonstration of what the herd effect does with density in a small area. Come on, Gloriousness. Come on, Morgie.
So Jeff and Sarah, we've got healthy paddocks.
Yes.
We've got healthy cows. We've got some beautiful succession coming through. There's also some environmental impacts that you've noticed over the last 3 years, because you're a careful observer of nature, Jeff.
Biggest thing recently, Tim, is dung beetles flying around my head at night time. Never had that before, not even where I grew up in Eastern Wheat Belt. It's like, wow. Mushrooms in the paddock. I haven't seen field mushrooms since I'm a kid, and we're getting mushrooms this year as well. It's like, change is happening.
And you're a bit of a bird guy.
Yeah, love birds. Lots of raptors. I'm loving raptors. We just saw a black-shouldered kite go over.
Yep.
Lucky your drone wasn't in the air then.
Just as well. We'll pull it out of the way.
Yeah, so raptors, lots of nomadic birds come through. Insects in the pasture now. Birds come into those. Dung beetles, magpies flipping cowpats, ravens flicking cowpats.
Ravens flicking magpies.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
yeah.
no, that doesn't happen yet.
It's all happening. Yeah, it's quite exciting to see.
Now, moving forward, your plan has always been to try and market your own meat.
Yes.
But there are some problems in the meat industry at the moment with access to abattoirs.
Yes, there are. The abattoir we use has said they won't do custom kills after Christmas, and that means that there is still an abattoir close-ish, but it's not as convenient for the butcher we use who processes it. Northern Valley Meats, they're great. And yeah, we are growing a business that sells direct into Perth. There are consumers in there who want to know where their feed comes from, their meat. They want it grass finished, not just grass fed, because it's those last 60 days of an animal's life that really add to the nutrients in the meat and the quality. And it does make it difficult. So I'm hoping that we can get a mobile abattoir up and running maybe.
Well, there's some great work being done by the Food Security Alliance. There is a link in the description for people that are interested, and on-farm abattoirs are a thing. They can be done, and it's a common story that I'm seeing around every state that I go and visit at the moment. Now, the pasture itself, people might still be wondering about the amount of radish in this pasture and everything else. I mean, we've got some great grass in here too, and there's a lot of really good high-protein feed. You guys put the cattle through the yards quite regularly. What sort of weight gains are you getting from your weaners?
At this time of year, this time of year, I'm expecting 1 kilo a day. Last year we did, and now Sarah doing 4 moves a day. I reckon we'll be blowing close to 1.2 kilos a day. So we'll see that today. We're going to measure the cows. We're going to put them through the yards and the yearlings. So yeah, at least 1 kilo a day, and I'm hoping for about 1.2.
And with the strip grazing techniques that you're using, you're maximising your pasture, and you've got something green on the ground for them to eat year round.
Yes, that's what we're hoping to. Yes, that's what we're achieving, and we need to. The summertime is our biggest challenge, and we're trying to improve that greenery and diversity in summertime as well.
So guys, if you're inspired by a story of people not spending a fortune turning their farm around, grazing regeneratively and getting good results in only 3 years, send this video to someone else who you think might be interested, and support the channel by pressing that little subscribe button. It costs nothing, and it helps the mission of the channel bring out something great every week for you guys to have a look at and comment on. Catch you next week. This video has been made possible by RegenWA through their Make Your Hectare Count program. And that's been funded by the West Australian State Government's state NRM projects. If you like this kind of video, check out the link below for lots of resources and more videos like it.